Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
This episode of Still Got Game is brought to you by GoDaddy. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 31. Still Got Game is the official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
That's two in a row for you, Joel Dude I Rock Albert. What's going on?
It's like a thing.
I know, it's like the old days.
Yeah.
But the new ones of the old.
It's the nowadays.
Yes, it's the current, present time.
Yeah, exactly. Well done.
But I'm here, you're there, everything is perfect.
Everything's good. Everyone's happy.
Everything is awesome.
This is what everyone always wanted, and they're getting it. You're
Yes.
welcome.
Despite us running a few minutes late here, chat was going a little bit wild, but we threw him some raw meat and they fought over it. There's a couple.
You just gotta have Hit like dance around for a little bit, get his bald head out there and start shaking it, and then we're good.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Is a separate stream of just Hit's face talking to us, but he has to be animated, but no one can hear him when he's telling us stuff. So he just like bounces around and just keeps them entertained.
Game it's called Is It Hit or Is It Tit? And it's just his head. You've got to decide, is it a tit or is it his head? And then he'll pop up and it's like, oh, it's hit. It's not
or
tit.
he'll just uncover the nipple and it's like, oh, it's tit.
You're like, oh, it's a tit.
Yes.
It's
a great game.
It's a great game.
I like this. Yeah, we're going to have to bring that in a future episode. All right, well, speaking of episodes, why don't we start off with feedback from last week's show? Remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Marcus comments, great insight into the Oculus Rift purchase last week. It's discussions like this that make me glad I listened to your show. I'm not sure what insight we provide.
Yeah, like I read this, believe it or not. And I was thinking, like, I don't know. There's too much deep insight in there. But I mean, I think the big thing we were talking about was just Facebook in general. I think we went off on a really large tangent of why it's not really a big deal, why it's actually a good thing that Facebook is buying them.
Maybe that was the insight.
I think that might be the insight because
that we weren't the Chicken Little sky is falling like everybody else in the world.
Yeah, like we're not taking the stance of like, oh my God, now Oculus Rift will never be good again. And I'm not. I stand by what I said last week. It's not a bad thing. Zuckerberg wants to put his hands into pockets that are well outside the reach of Facebook. I think it's a great idea. He did it with Instagram. He's doing it with WhatsApp. Why not get into gaming? Why not get into just the sphere, the whole world of virtual reality, if you will? It's a good idea. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Everyone needs to calm the fuck down. Buy themselves some VR.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And Shaq Fu comments, I just found your show on Twitch while I was looking for WildStar streams. Even though you guys did a bait and switch on me, I hung out for the entire episode. I ended up really enjoying it and plan on being a regular viewer. Not the first person that's come in this way. It's the back door. That's how you come in the back door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We give you a little lube, you come right in.
Yep. We show you this, but we give you this.
Exactly.
Yes.
You think it's going to be a normal encounter, then all of a sudden you wake up and your ass is sore. It's just normal. It's how we do things here.
Backdoor loving.
Well, no, it's good to have people come in this way. I actually like it when people find our show. I know it's like kind of a deceitful. First of all, we are a deceitful group of people. So,
well, in our defense, Twitch does not give you a choice of no game
gaming
show. Yeah.
Live feed, anything. I would take that if they could.
Yep.
And
but they don't.
So the objective when we're selecting a game is to find the game that people really want to watch. That's the best way, right? That's how we get out there.
Low streams that everybody wants to watch.
Wants to see it. So you look for games in beta, obviously WildStar being one of them. Or, games that like no one has anything. The games that like they've shown two things of like alpha only and like no one's seen it. And all of a sudden, we're the guys with the stream. No, we're not. But we will sucker you into watching us live. And you will have a good time if you do get suckered in. That's the thing you need. Yeah.
Once you're in, you never want to go home.
No, you never want to go.
That's like Vegas.
Exactly.
Yes. All right. And last but not least, Tim Tom comments. Great show as always. Thanks for keeping it badass.
Those are the comments I love.
Now, we get a lot of shows, comments that are just like, great show, great. It's the little things that make me pick someone's comment over someone else's. And it's that thanks for keeping it badass. Like that's something that we strive for each week is we're like, what's our badass level at for this show, Jay? Like,
yeah, we do barometers and sometimes it's low, but even on our lowest, if you're going to like have it on a grading scale, it's like of 10, the low is like an 8.
Oh yeah.
Normally, if it's on a scale of 10, it's like a 12. Constantly.
This is when we do our math.
Yeah, exactly. We're 2 over whatever the limit is.
Next time I'm gonna have to whiteboard this. I'll get out a whiteboard and we'll whiteboard all the math out so that everybody else can understand.
At home and guess what is the level today. If you guess right, we'll give you shit.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to know the correct answer, it's always 2 over whatever the limit is. So there you go.
See? Now you know. Little secret inside. Yeah. Write that down. Don't write it down. Carve it into your desk right now so that it doesn't accidentally get lost on a piece of paper. Just carve it in there with your fingernail or your knife or something. All right. Well, if any of feedback, you can give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooledtoplay.com. And in site-related news, the only thing I got is PAX East is coming up this weekend.
Woo!
Tiff and I will be there along with some of the Tool to Play writing staff.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, we have a nice small handful of appointments. It's nothing like E3. I think 3 or 4 each. Just enough to cover some things that we want to see and make sure we can get in there and see them. But it's going to be a good time.
I love it. I still love PAX. It's one of my favorites, to be honest with you.
It's relaxing.
It's relaxing, yeah. I always try to figure out, do I like it more than E3 or not? And probably if it wasn't for like the Pactor parties and stuff at E3, I probably would like it more. I think overall I would like it more. Because it's chilling. You're literally there to just play video games and talk to people. It's fantastic.
And it's definitely less work.
It's a lot less work.
Exactly. And you do see other people there that you don't see at E3. Now granted, a lot of our gaming friends have side jobs where they work for Ubisoft and work the booth, or they work for so-and-so Wargaming and work the booth. But for the most part, the people you see at E3 are all press people. So you see all your press friends there. But PAX East, it's just every gamer friend you have just shows up, and most of them aren't working. They're just there to have fun and have a good time. So
yeah, I'm gonna miss it.
So we're looking forward to that. If you're gonna be in Boston this weekend, gonna be at PAX East, hit us up, shout us out, hit us up on Twitter, hit us somewhere, and let us know where you are, and we'll hook up.
That's just the kind of people that we are.
That's how we roll.
Embrace the community. There you go.
All right. Well, Jay, on that, why don't we meander over into what we're playing? Joel, Dude, I Rock Albert, what have you been playing this week?
This week I mixed it up. I did a little Titanfall for about 2-3 hours, finally. Nice. And it was as I suspected. I'm terrible because I have waited far too long to start playing. And everyone already knows the maps after 2 weeks, and I'm just like, I have no fucking idea what's going on. So because of that, I'll play for like 2 hours, then I'll get frustrated, and then I go back into D3. And I'm actually having I can't wait for you to play D3 once it gets to the consoles. And
I can't wait either.
The little people, as I said. I played on your shitty little box.
Hey, it is the definitive version.
It is a definitive version of the shitty version. Definitive shitty version. You're welcome.
It's normally I would say that about PC versus console, but in this case, even Blizzard has said, "Hey, you know what? We fucked up with Diablo. The version we made on consoles, we did everything right." And they've tried to backpedal some of that. They got rid of the auction house. They they changed the loot drop percentages to match more of the console stuff. It's getting there, but plus there's something more visceral about rocking Diablo with a controller and moving around as you move around like you do in games instead of just clicking where you want to go. It's a different thing.
It is a totally different way. I have to say they did a phenomenal job with the console. I mean, to move Diablo, which has always been a PC game, onto the console is hard to do, and they did it really well. But I will say this version, this expansion is absolutely fantastic.
That's what I've heard.
Diablo, so
that's true too. Yeah, you were a big anti-Diablo guy.
Mad, then I spent the money. So yeah, if you guys play it on the PC, check it out. I mean, I know a lot of people have been saying, do I really want to give Blizzard their money again after what they did to me the first time? And I respect that. I mean, they fucked that game up dramatically. But they've essentially fixed it. They fired Jay, who's the guy that pretty much fucked everything up. He's no longer working there, so everything's okay. It's a brand new game.
Fool Jay once, shame on Jay. Fool Jay twice, fire that guy.
Fire that motherfucker.
It's really confusing that you're both named Jay.
I know. It'd be awesome if I fired Jay, because then they'd be like, fire Jay. I'd be like, no way. Wait, Jay. Yeah. You don't say.
And you can do
All
a little rap about it. Yes.
Let's get off of that as quickly as possible.
All right. Well, I have been playing a shitload of Titanfall. So that's anytime I game now, it's Titanfall all the time. Gen 4 now. So just cranking through, having a good time. It's fun. Dangling carrot.
Gen 4 is. What is that?
That's like 4th prestige.
Oh, you have a problem.
No.
Yeah, that's what a problem is when you have
No. No. This is a different, it's not the traditional Call of Duty prestige where you can just say, okay, I reached the end, I'm going to prestige. With each prestige, except for the first one, there's a whole bunch of challenges you have to finish. Like, you have to get X amount of kills with certain weapons before you can prestige. Like the prestige I'm on now, you have to get some outrageous number of sniper rifle kills. So the amount of people that go from prestige 4 to prestige 5 is probably going to be a lot smaller than most games, because a lot of people kind of avoid the sniper, if you know what I mean. But
now, do you get anything when you prestige at all, or is it just like, oh, I have
you get that little badge next to your thing, and people are like, "Holy shit, look at that guy! That guy's fucking badass."
See, but they don't say that. Well, at least I don't. When I see that, what I say is that guy has a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah,
that's all I say.
Well, that's what you say, but knowing me, I know that I do not have a lot of time on my hands. So that makes things even more impressive.
Right.
Yes.
You're speed genning.
Yes. I work. I have kids.
Yeah. It's tough.
Tiff and I watch a shitload of TV shows. So
watch all those shows. You're busy.
Yeah. So this is just something we fit in on the side. Yeah. But Tiff she took a little break from Titanfall during the 3rd gen because it's frustrating.
To get all those ridiculous.
Yeah, because you have to use a weapon you don't want to use. That's the thing.
This is the thing: is I won't hinder my level of fun for an achievement that gets me nothing. I don't get these people like you, or my brother, who will prestige 18 times. If it gives me something, then sure. But I don't want to have to play with a weapon I hate for fucking 20 days to only maybe finally complete a challenge and then be upset because I don't, or I don't get it. I don't get it.
To each their own. But
I understand.
Once you reach 50. And you'll see, you'll be like, hey, you know what? I'll do it once. Because the first one's free. You don't have to do any special weapons. Whatever you rode through, you can do it at least once. So and then once you do it once, you get hooked.
Because you're like, well, I did it once. Why would I not do it twice?
Yeah, exactly. It's like banging strippers.
Bang
one, might as well bang them all.
Under a perspective that I understand.
I understand. See, I knew that you couldn't really grasp where I was going for.
Both literally and figuratively, I could not grasp. No.
Yes. Now you're grasping.
Now I do.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess on that, why don't we hop over into the new releases? And it is another super light week of new releases. First new release out this week is out for the Xbox One, and it is Kinect Sports Rivals. This is Microsoft Studios' long-awaited first real Kinect game for the Xbox One. It really leverages the high-resolution ability of the new Kinect sensor to transfer player movements into the game, which is something that people hated about the first Kinect. Like it did an okay job, but it was never really that one-to-one movement. They've really as we saw at E3, and they showed some of the shit that Kinect can do. See your fucking blood rate, where your blood's pumping, get your heart rate, all this other weird shit. So they're definitely leveraging that sensor. The game features jet ski racing, rock climbing, soccer, target shooting, tennis, and bowling. The all-important bowling, which is what made the Wii at the time.
They put it in everything now because they feel like they have to.
Yeah, if you don't have bowling, it's like, who the fuck who greenlit this game without bowling? What the fuck? So early reviews for this game have been in the 6s and 7s, which doesn't surprise me. It's a Kinect game. But that's really par for the course for minigame games on any system. There's a certain section of the population that likes minigame games. There's a big cross section that does not. Really, all you have to know is that this game is well done for a minigame game, which is why it does get those scores in the 7s. If you're looking for a Kinect title or just something fun for the family, then this is a must-have, because you really have this Xbox, and the only thing you're using Kinect for now is for video calling or for saying Xbox on, or oh fuck, I just turned on this Xbox. So besides all that, this is your first real game that you can actually leverage the Kinect for. So, if you're a Kinect person, you want to do some moving up, getting around, most definitely pick this up, because otherwise you're stuck with exercise games or nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the only other new release out this week is out for the Xbox 360, and it is Titanfall. The game that everyone's loving on the Xbox One and the PC finally makes its way to the Xbox 360. Functionally, the game is exactly the same as the Xbox One and PC versions. The graphic fidelity is obviously lower on this, but what else do you expect? Also, the game is capped at 30 frames per second on the 360, which also no surprise either. We're talking about hardware from 2005. Mm-hmm. So you take what you get.
Deal with it.
So if you're still living in the past and rocking that last gen shit, then, you can at least see what we've all been playing in a substandard form.
Literally, that's my response. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're getting their Titanfall. But I think we said this last week. I would just prefer that they just didn't give it to them. I honestly prefer
that would have been a driver to push people.
Exactly. Now, of course, that Titanfall revenue from respawning a brand new company probably would be far, far less. So I understand why they're doing it. But fuck those people.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, we discriminate all the time. I was just told in chat. So.
Oh, we do. If you're last gen, you're a loser. Yeah. No offense.
Fucking out of here.
Even if you're one of our listeners, we still love you.
Oh yeah, we love you.
You're like the slow kid. You're like, we love him, but he's slow.
Yeah.
Like that. Like you gotta love him because you're there.
Yeah.
But you gotta do something exceptional to get our true praise.
Exactly. Like maybe living in the now. That's a good start.
It's the present. We've talked about this.
Yeah,
the present, the current.
Do things now. So you don't need a console that was from 1840. You just got to move on.
Yes. You take your DeLorean.
Exactly. Get in your fucking
get back to the present, and then you're going to be fine.
Buy the right system. There you go. Sell the DeLorean, buy the system. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably a 1-for-1 trade at this point.
Yeah, this point probably is, yeah.
All right. Well, on that, Jay, why don't we hop over into gaming news? First story!
Microsoft patches an Xbox Live security flaw found by a 5-year-old. This is from Gamasutra. This is actually a pretty good story. ABC 10 reports that Microsoft has patched an Xbox Live security flaw, which allowed a 5-year-old San Diego Californian to log into his father's account without knowing the password. Earlier this year, and yes, this is this kid's name, Christopher von Hessel. I'm going to use Hessel because that's the way I'm going to pronounce it. Christoph von Hessel's parents discovered that he was logging into his father's Xbox Live account and playing games without their permission. Investigating further, his father, a security researcher at ServiceNow, discovered that his son had managed to access his account by entering in the wrong password, then bypassing the ensuing password verification screen by submitting a password of blank spaces. That's pretty good for a 5-year-old kid. That's I'm really wondering how he came up with this. The family reported the vulnerability to Microsoft. Microsoft responded by fixing the security flaw, acknowledging Christopher in the company's March 2014 list of security researchers, which is really cool, and gave him and the family $50 for Xbox One games and a year of Live Gold membership. That's pretty cool. Quote, "We're always listening to our customers and thank them for bringing issues to our attention," a Microsoft representative said in a statement to ABC 10. Quote, "We take security seriously at Xbox and fixed the issue as soon as we learned about it," end quote. So this is like a happy, fun time story. What do you think about this? Well,
it is, except the real question is, how long did this exist before this kid found it? Like, is this a day one Xbox Live thing where, all you do is jam a bunch of spaces in? Like, maybe this explains how those FIFA assholes were taking people's accounts and charging up, hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of FIFA cards and all that other weird shit that happened back in the day. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I like that Microsoft responded very quickly, and
I do like that
credit. I guess he got his name. It wasn't in here. Well, maybe it wasn't here. I can't remember. But
how they put him in the security thing.
Yeah, that's cute. Good for them.
No, it's a feel good story.
But you're right. You are right. It is sad that a 5-year-old kid, found a fucking security flaw. That's kind of sad.
Yes.
Yeah, does not bode well for your security team.
No, but at least we know it's fixed now.
We could all move on with their lives, and this kid's already got enough on his plate with that fucked up name. So
exactly.
I mean, Jesus Christ, give a kid just call him Dave, Bill, Fred. What happened to those names? Anyway, Next story. Dota 2 International 2014 tickets sold out in less than an hour. This is via joystick. So tickets for Valve's Dota 2 International 2014 Championship have sold out quickly. The event's roughly 10,000 tickets sold within an hour, according to what Valve's Doug Lombardi told Rod Slasher Breslew. It is safe to say that the game might just be a little popular. And this is interesting too. We've talked about this a bunch with League of Legends and how Dota really was the beginning of League of Legends. Now that's the biggest game ever. But this is a big deal. This means Dota is hot on the heels now to being the MOBA of the world once again. Those hoping to make a trip to Seattle for the competition aren't totally out of luck. General admission tickets can be found on eBay for the low price of $200. Jesus. Though that's still twice as much as their initial price of the $99 price tag. Those looking for some price comparison should know that floor seating tickets originally sold for $200, while VIP tickets were at $499. Damn, to watch people play video games. Holy shit. The Dota 2 International 2014 will take place at the Key Arena in Seattle from July 18th to the 21st. This is the International's fourth year in existence, with last year's International boasting a prize pool of more than $2.8 million, the largest in esports history. The prize pool for this year's championship has not been finalized yet, but I'm going to assume it's probably going to be more. What are your thoughts? This is fucking insane, right?
That's crazy. Like,
banana.
I know that everybody loves Dota and everybody loves this genre somehow like came out, and all of a sudden it's like the overwhelming esports genre. And to me, I've tried all of these games. I've tried every top one of these games. And you know what? Whether it's Dota, whether it's League, whether it's Infinite Crisis, every time the game's the exact same. It just repeats. It's not when you go play a shooter, like even let's take a simple example, like Titanfall. Every time it's different. You're getting dropped in a different spot. You're playing a team. Everybody's got a different thing they're doing. Here, everybody does the same thing every time. And I just don't understand. I just don't get it.
I don't necessarily get it either. I mean, it's funny because StarCraft I actually kind of got. I know that sounds weird because I'm not Asian or anything. But the thing about it is it's like watching chess. I always felt like that. The MOBA world, I guess, can be seen in the same way. It's obviously a lot faster paced than that. But it doesn't have that minutia that StarCraft has. So I don't know. I mean, it blows my mind every day. I still can't believe that League of Legends is the most popular video game currently in the world.
I know.
Just even knowing that is it's weird to me.
You know, all these stories should have been what the fuck. You know, we started with the Microsoft one. That was what the fuck. This is kind of what the fuck. Like, it's a night of what the fucks.
That's weird. I mean, I'm absolutely happy for them.
It's great for gaming to have these huge prize pools bring people in. It's awesome.
If you take the game out of the equation, you look at again, $2.8 million to play video games is pretty fucking good if you win that pool, or if you're part of that pool. That's amazing. And I think just last week, was it Call of Duty? I think it was Call of Duty last week.
Yeah, they had
the prize was
thing out.
$1 million.
Yep,
$1 million, first place. You know, I remember back in the day, me and you were watching and competing in a lot of those tournaments with MLG, and the prize pool was like $300 and a slap on the ass.
Yeah, it's like good job.
Yeah,
maybe someone will see you on MLG TV. Yeah, that was your prize.
Someone in chat was actually wondering what Dota means. I believe it's Defense of the Ancients.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, that's what it was.
Originally a mod for. What was it a mod for?
StarCraft.
Yeah, it was a StarCraft mod.
Right. So. Yeah.
And then it grew out, and that's where the whole MOBA world came from. It was that one thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's like StarCraft without building stuff, and let's just make 3 lanes."
Yeah, as you say, it's one map, 3 lanes. It's fucking crazy.
I know, it's so simple.
Like looking back at how insane this is, but watch it for a little bit. Take some time out of your day. I ask everyone to do this because it'd be fun to see how everyone responds to it. Watch it for like 30 minutes. Tell me, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you'll watch it and you'll be like, "Oh my god, dude, you don't even know you're missing." Maybe that's
especially for people like Deep here or Sarcasmo.
I would love
you're racing guys. I would like you guys just to like when we're done the show tonight, go on the Xbox, pull up Twitch, pick any of either a Dota stream, a League stream. It doesn't matter. Just watch it for 10, 15 minutes and see if you can get anything out of it. Because I just can't. It's so repetitive.
It's funny because I don't mind playing it. I actually don't mind League of Legends. I think it's kind of a fun game. But it's weird to have such a large following. That's just weird. But anyway, good on that. Good on that. Now for a sad, sad story. GameSpy is ceasing all of its hosted services this May. This is from Gamma Searcher as well. GameSpy's hosting services, part of Glue Mobile since 2012, are going down for good on May 31st, according to announcements on the company's website. The statement reads, in total, quote, effective May 31st, 2014, GameSpy will cease providing all hosted services for all games still using GameSpy. If you have any questions about how this impacts your favorite titles, please contact the game's publisher for more information. Thanks for the great ride, end quote. Glue ceased licensing out of GameSpy's network technology at the beginning of the year. It had already drawn the ear of clients who still relied on its middleware and services by late last year. Nintendo, which had relied on GameSpy in the prior generation, the Wii and the original DS, had already announced that its games for those platforms would cease to function as of May 20th. Now it seems that all developers and publishers who relied on the tech to keep their games running will be left in the dark. And if you are a Halo fan, that is the only place that you can currently, well, until May 20th, play OG Halo. So a lot of those guys, if you're part of Reddit community, part of the Halo Reddit community, or part of any Halo community, they're trying to figure out ways to keep it alive so that people could still play old school Halo together. So it's kind of sad to see this happen, don't you think?
It is. Like I have a long sordid history with, well, not sordid, but I have a long history with GameSpy because GameSpy actually grew out of the stuff I originally did with Quake's server stuff. So with Quake servers, I did my Iron Man's Quake server lists that then after doing that for a long time, you can find this on the internet, I fucking invented the concept of using ping for sorting servers. Everyone else was dumb. So then eventually that got folded into a standalone client app called QSpy, which then eventually was picked up by GameSpy, which is where I moved my whole site to. Basically, it was called Planet Quake at the time. And the Planet Quake network was all rebranded as GameSpy. And then they folded in these other businesses. They brought the server stuff, the server side and client matching and all this other stuff together. And Mark Surface made a shitload of money. That's the guy that was the CEO there at the time. It was him and one other guy in the company when I jumped in there with them. But yeah, this is insane. That's a long run they had before.
A long run, dude. Yeah, that's a long run.
Their time is actually, when you think about it, their time should have been long past.
Well, to be fair, I think it actually was, which is rather sick. No one's been using the service, really using the service. Really, Nintendo, I guess, would be the last one to even be counted as really using that service. But
it's only because they're too dumb to write their own code.
Exactly. That's the only reason. I think they probably just figured this is stupid. We should probably write our own code. So it is sad to see it happen. I mean, I'm not surprised it did happen. It should happen sooner, but it's kind of sad. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's an end of an era. I played a ton of games on those servers. So
yep,
there you go.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right, this is an interesting one here. Speaking of this is just weird. Every story today is fucked up. Every fucking story. Wargaming is going to invest $10 million in support of esports. This is via Gamer Politics. So, Wargaming CEO Victor Casilli has pledged that his company will invest $10 million to improve and develop features that support esports in 2014. At a press conference in Warsaw, Poland, Wargaming CEO Victor Casilli said that there has been a huge upswing, which is definitely true. We just saw that, of interest in World of Tanks and, most importantly, esports in the last 2 years. In 2012, 30,000 pro players took part in the 120 World of Tanks tournament, while in 2013 that number climbed to 200,000 across more than 1,000 World of Tanks tournaments, according to Wargaming's calculations. Wargaming says that it has dedicated an entire team to work on expanding its presence in the esports scene, which it invested $8 million into supporting in 2013. So they're clocking in almost 20 mil of esports. I got to wonder what this revenue stream is so far. But anyway, quote, with our esports team, we have founded a company within the company, he said. Quote, they take care not only about the game features to cater to spectators, but also about the physical organization of the tournaments. Quote, in the beginning, it was not so much us who wanted to introduce World of Tanks to esports. It was the players themselves who wanted to be more competitive. Casilli also said during the press conference that World of Tanks now has 80 million registered players worldwide. That's a lot more than 2.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Everything here is fucked up. So the things that jump right out at me, not the fact that we all know that wargaming, like we feel like, even though they're friends of ours, we love wargaming, we feel like they're in bed with the Russian mafia because they seem to have unlimited funds. So $10 million, whatever. That's how much they spend on parties at E3. You know what I mean? Like, that's no big deal. But here's the thing. The takeaways are, in 2012, 30,000 pro players of World of Tanks. Pro players. This is 30,000 pros in a game that we had not yet heard of in 20. No, actually, we had heard of it just before 2012. But 30,000 pro players took part in 120 tournaments that year. In 2013, 1 year later, 200,000 pro players for this game and more than 1,000 tournaments. That's 3 tournaments a day for that year. That's insane. Then you look at the very last thing. World of Tanks has 80 million registered players. Like, that is...
million. I feel like that's... I don't know.
That is mind-blowing.
I don't know that I can even believe it. It's so high.
Well, normally I would not believe it, because anyone can say, like, well, right now we just got our 80 millionth viewer for the vidcast.
That's correct.
Yes. We can say that, but like, we have nothing we can quantify it with it. Wargaming is like, oh, we have 80 million players, and oh, by the way, we just bought this solid gold tank and we're gonna smash it.
Yeah, but like, are they getting the money from that, or are they getting it from the mob? I just don't know.
I know. Even now, yeah, you really
don't know.
You don't
and I
know,
guess, to be fair, registered users does not mean active players. Registered users, I'm a registered user. I've played 15 minutes my entire life.
That's still to get 80 million people to register for anything is insane. It's hard to get 80 million people to register to vote.
We can't even get 18 people to view our fucking vidcast, and it's free. And we're putting out quality content 24 hours a day. Well, more like 1 hour per week.
And it's tough.
No, it is weird, but 20 million. I mean, when you really start to like look at the numbers, 20 million, and again, you always have to think, okay, so if they spent 20 million, what was the return on investment for the 20? What do they get from that? And I guess it's really just more exposure to the game. I guess it's an investment in the IP, right? The investment in them as a company, the investment in them as a game developer. And I feel like this is not that crazy, because this is really what Valve does. This is really what all these companies are now doing. Halo did it way in the beginning, and then decided to stop doing it because they fucking suck. Fucking Bungie. Anyway, so yeah, and so now they're just like, let's invest in the longevity of the IP. Let's just have people be enjoying the game, celebrate it, win some money. Gives you a reason. If you're a gamer, you need a reason to play a video game. How about a fucking check for $1 million? It's a pretty good reason to keep playing.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
No. So, Derek, what do you think about the story?
Jay, this story has me saying 80 million what the fucks.
That's a lot of what the fucks.
And on that, we'll hop over into the mailbag and voicemails. Altius asks, with PAX East coming up this weekend, what are your thoughts on Sony and Nintendo not having a presence there?
Doesn't matter. In fact, I'm okay with it. We said at the beginning of the show, just kind of nonchalantly, but it's really about just hanging out with friends and playing games that you love. If they had a game that they really wanted to show, they'd bring it. You know, they would have brought it because they know that they're going to get exposure. But believe it or not, I think that's really an E3 thing. And I'm okay with it being an E3 thing. I don't care about it.
Well, I agree with you for Sony, not so much for Nintendo, because Nintendo is just like
Nintendo's fucked.
Yeah, they're just like, we're not doing an E3 press conference. We're not going to PAX East. We're just gonna not even do anything.
Gave up, dude. They're just like, we hope people buy shit, but we're not gonna try.
Yeah, they've just gone down in their bunker, and occasionally they pop their head up and they're like, "There's a sale this week." Close it right up, and they're like, "Oh, hopefully nobody saw us."
Exactly.
But for Sony, it is weird because Sony traditionally has had a presence at PAX and PAX East. Now, granted, there's not a lot of usually at the start of a console generation, a lot of your first party titles are your launch titles. So I don't know what Sony has in the pipeline for first party titles, and you know what? At this point, they're having trouble keeping the hardware on shelves. So it's not like you need to go out there and sell the hardware. So, maybe you save that money and invest it 2 months later in E3. Who knows?
I think they're just waiting. I don't see a reason if they have no games to announce. Again, you need to have a product that you really want to push to be at any of these events. It's the point of the event. And if they have nothing to push, why throw a bunch of people at it, bunch of money at it, just to have a presence there? I don't think it's worth it. And Nintendo obviously falls into that category because they don't ever got shit anymore. So, although they do have Mario Kart 8 coming out. Looks fantastic.
I know. It's problems on shitty stuff.
Looks fantastic. But, I don't think it's a deal. I'm okay. I mean, it's a good question, but
I could see the flip side of this, though, where maybe somebody would be, like maybe somebody goes to PAX East that bought their 3-day pass and they get there, and maybe they're a Sony fanboy, and they would have had to buy these tickets long before Sony said they weren't coming. And then they get to PAX East, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, Sony didn't even show up. And does that leave some sort of bad taste in their mouth for Sony? You just don't know.
I don't know. If you're a fanboy, you're always a fucking fanboy.
That's true. You
suck.
Dyed in the wool.
Yeah, exactly. Shame on you.
All right. Well, great question, Altius. You made us think a little bit. Not as much as last week, but every week you can't be the complete genius of the show.
True.
Well, if any of you feedback, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment in this episode's thread on the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors! Remember, by supporting our sponsors, you help support Still Got Game. GoDaddy, starting at less than $5 a month. Web hosting from GoDaddy.com includes 99% uptime, 24/7 support, and free access to the GoDaddy hosting connection, the place to quickly install over 50 applications like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, ER, Commerce, and more. Go to toolplay.com/GoDaddy for great deals on new.com registrations and renewals starting at just $1.99. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com. And if you'd like to sponsor us, we're still looking for cash money sponsors. You tell us what you're selling. We'll tell you you're going to pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. I, king of the fucking internet, god of everything that's fucking holy, I'm at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
Jesus, I'm at twitter.com/DudeIRock.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Trademark. Facebook.com/Tool to Play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/DudeIRock.
Also, hit up our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. Subscribe to that shit. You will get every bit of video content that Tool to Play produces, which is 99% Still Got Game episodes. Occasionally, you'll get a thick and thin with LB and Duty. And actually, I take that back because there are a shitload of these little things that come out whenever there's a new game release. And it's called Hits Motherfucking Quit Hits. And that's when Hitman gets his new game, opens it up at midnight, licks it a little bit, rubs it on his cock. He's just like, yeah. And after a half hour of the stream, then he finally puts in the console and he plays it for you.
That's what I love about it. The fucking build-up is amazing.
I know. You're ready to come.
I mean, you are. You've already come. He hasn't even fucking opened he's like, and now, guys, we're looking at the package from the right angle. If you notice, the seal is still not broken. We're going to tear slightly from left to right. Do you hear that?
Showing you the hologram? The hologram?
There's a video game in there, guys. If that's what it is for like 30 minutes.
Oh my God. Yeah, but then I'm telling you though, once he finally has it in there and he fires that game up, oh my God, it is like
you're ready to fucking purchase.
Why
don't they just get him to fucking sell video games? It's just him like jerking off into a fucking console. Everyone's loving it.
So hits motherfucking quit hit fucking shit hit tits. Everybody loves that show. Shows up occasionally, but if you are a subscriber at youtube.com/tool2play, you'll be notified when that and all of our other content shows up. Now, speaking of our other content, we also have a Tool to Play app that is in the works. It's being fixed up right now because it's still a little bit shitty. But the things that app does, it tells you it pushes all the Tool to Play content from the homepage to you. You get all that right in the palm of your hand, as well as all this video content. So maybe you're like a guy that's like, oh, going to youtube.com is so pedestrian. Well, it doesn't matter. You'll get all that content pushed right to your fucking phone directly from the Tool to Play app, and you don't have to worry about it. It would be nice if you did both because subscriber numbers are always helpful. But if you are really that fucking stick up your assish, well, this is your way around that. Yeah. Also, please rate and review this podcast in iTunes. Go onto iTunes, search up Still Got Game, give us 5 stars, and then write up a little review for us. You know, these guys are awesome. I love the show. The production value is awesome. I'm so glad they went to video instead of just audio. Whatever you want to say, as long as it's accompanied by a 5-star rating. That's all that matters. Like, you can say this show sucks, 5 stars.
God, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I don't even really care if you do that. That'd actually be pretty funny. Yeah. But the 5 stars is the key. So please give us 5 stars and help us out. Also subscribe on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/tool2play. You can go follow our channel there, and you'll be notified when anything goes live on Twitch TV from whether it's this show, whether it's when Hitman plays 8 million games of Titanfall, and he's got his own thing on Watchtower Games. He's got the Tool to Play channel going. He's got his little green screen head floating there like, hey, what's up? It's me.
Is it a hit? I don't know. Is that a titty playing video games right now? That is a titty playing video games right now.
And then the vape comes out.
And he just pops up.
Yes, that's right. Up. All right. Okay. I'm going under. Up. Guy. Up. Hey. And then that repeats for hours of Hit being massively baked, floating on a green screen, playing games.
He's like, guys, after this fucking stream, I'm going to open this new video game I got. It's going to take about 40 minutes to 5 hours, depending on the time frame. You guys want to watch that shit?
Yeah. But I do have to go offline first because I have to put up the title cards for Hits motherfucking quit hit shits.
And then you just hear him like tearing a wrapper. It's like
yeah. Oh my god, it's such a tease. Oh my god, I just got hard hearing that.
Yeah. Guys, you know what's beneath the sound? It's a brand new video game.
Holy shit, man. That's what Hit's probably doing tonight with Connect Sports Rivals.
There you go.
He's gonna run out to the store, pick that up. Midnight. He's going to be the only guy there at midnight to get Connect Sports Rivals. But
he's like, I'm here. Can I get a copy? They're like, yeah, dude. Do you want one
in the morning? So, all right. And last but not least, please join us each and every Monday night, 4 p.m. Pacific. For the time being, this will change once Joel Duda Rock Albert moves out to California. But you hit us up, twitch.tv/tool2play, and this show is live every week. We have a chat room. They participate in the show. They give us feedback. They tell us the fuck-ups we make. They tell us what we're doing awesome. It's kind of like having a little angel and a little devil on your shoulders the whole time. And one of them's like, yeah, you're doing good. And the other one's like, fuck you, you fuckface. Where's Wildstar? But
it's about right, yeah.
But that's pretty much how it goes. So I guess on that, Jay, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
Is this the time for a Hitman's quick motherfucking hit?